So here's something I've
Okay, welcome back everyone. A couple of weeks, several weeks ago, I put out one of those shorts, YouTube shorts. It's like, they want you to do like 1 minute or less. And it was about the battery on my Camaro going dead. I had let it sit for a few weeks, several weeks, and I went to go start it. It was completely dead, and it was registering like 0.02 volts on the voltmeter. And I had all these comments like, "Oh, you got to take the cap off the battery post." And I just thought it was funny because it's like, yeah, obviously I'm no expert, I'm no pro, but I know how to probe a battery. Like, maybe all the caps don't have a little hole in the middle, but most of the ones I've seen sure do. So I'm actually putting the probe in the little hole in the center, which lets it contact the battery post. So I verified this, checking the side terminals. I even got another multimeter. I am still to this day getting comments about how I'm trolling people. I really wasn't trying to do clickbait or any tricks like that. Like, I was just legitimately surprised that, because I've never seen a battery go all the way down to 0 or 1 volts in a car. Never in my life. And the other comments I was getting were, well, there's no way a battery could ever go down that low, or there had to be some major draw on the electrical system that was causing it. And that turned out to be not true. And yeah, the battery just went that low. I guess it's rare, but it can happen. If you're interested in the progression of this and how the whole thing went down, then stick around for the rest of the video.
So here's something I've never seen before. My Camaro has been sitting outside for a few months. I don't know, a couple months, not too crazy amount of time. Battery was dead, figured, oh, I'll throw the battery tender on it, plug it in, light doesn't come on, which usually means it's not hooked to anything. Put the voltmeter on the battery, and nothing. 0.02 volts. Usually a dead battery will be like 9 or 10 or something. This is weird. And I just verified the meter on my other car, showed 11.9. Nothing. So I guess I'm switching out the battery. Some people were saying I had to check the side terminals, not the top. So I did, and I used a different voltmeter. So I'm getting 1.7 volts, which is better than 0, but it's still way off where it should be. I popped the caps off, and well, the water level in there is low. It's not extremely low. So I'm going to top it off and throw the battery charger on boil mode and see what happens. Yeah, so I don't think there is any hope at all for this battery. Plugged in the charger, and it's also reading 0. Usually that amp will go way to the right. So something happened to this thing. I don't know if something was left on in the car, a light or something. I don't think so, but it's possible. Usually this battery will go dead if you let the car sit for about 3 or 4 weeks. But other than that, it's been okay. And I know the alternator is good because I just changed that last summer. So I'm going to throw another battery in. All right, so I got my other battery, and this is another old battery, but it's a good battery. Yeah, so let's see what happens. See if anything is on in here. I don't see any lights on. started this in probably about 6 weeks. Maybe the good battery is not so good after all. Got another bad battery. Puts out good volts, but it's got no power behind it, I guess. Okay. Well, my parts store is closed. It's a Sunday, so this is gonna bleed into another day. I just charged this battery up too, so it's no good. Has anybody ever heard of an Econocraft battery? 1019, so it's about 3.5 years old. So I hooked up my multimeter between the negative on the battery and the negative ground on the car on amps, on the amp setting, and it's coming up with 0.03, which should be fine. I mean, that should not be drawing the battery down to the point of 1 volt after sitting for a month. So I'm just going to assume that other battery went bad, internally shorted, something happened to it, and hopefully with the new battery now we're good to go.
So just to wrap this up, later this day, I go and I check the amp draw on my 86 Cutlass 442, and I find that it is drawing 0. So I figured, okay, these cars are very similar, so maybe there is a problem with the Camaro drawing these 0.03 or 3 milliamps. So then I go back and check it. I was going to start pulling fuses and see if I could isolate the circuit that was drawing, and it would not. It was 0. And I checked with my other multimeter, and all I'm getting now is a 0 draw. So there's absolutely nothing drawing on this battery at all. So that original battery, it just died. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.